Here's how, and Linda, you've hit on something that's a very important key. And I don't know if people really fully grasp what I did in insurance and how I flipped the script. And I would recommend anybody in MLM to do the same thing. In insurance, you go out, you recruit agents, you train them, you train them, you go out on appointments with them, and you try to get them up to speed. And why do you do that? Because you want to make that 20, 30, 40, 50%, whatever your override is. You want to be able to make money off of the business they produce. So that's the whole reason you do that. Here's the problem with that business model, and the problem I would see in a lot of MLM businesses. Now, this is just my philosophy, by the way. Okay. You're just asking my opinion. Let me tell you, because you'll understand, to me, the value of TW3 once I tie the circle here. The problem with that is, and you know this, Lindsay,
okay,
you can spend a lifetime training people, but that doesn't translate over to them actually being productive later on.
Correct.
Okay. So I got tired of pouring my life into people, spending hours and hours to train them, to finally, when they got up to speed, to be able to start producing and learning how to operate a business. Joe Schmo down the road that offered them a 5% better commission, they started writing business for him instead of me. Or I'm selling them leads, and then I'm having to chase behind them going, hey, did they write that business through me, or did they just write it through another insurance company? Because I couldn't. And all of a sudden I'm in this policing thing all the time. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So this is what I did. I already had a pretty darn good contract. And so I would tell people, say, listen, I make 140% on this whole life policy here. I'm going to pay you 135. Street level's 120. You can't get it anywhere. If they paid you, if you called them direct and got direct contracting with them, they'd only pay you 120. And most, if you went through an agency, they're going to want a 20, 30% override. So you're only going to get 90 to 100%. Okay. So I'm telling you right up front, that's what I'm willing to pay you. Okay. What's the deal is, you have to buy my training. I'm not going to underwrite and finance your education. You are. You're going to bet on yourself. And as you bet on yourself, you're going to get paid more. And then that way, once you start to learn to generate leads, if you write those leads through this business, great. If you can find it somewhere else better, more power to you, because you're paying for my time. You're paying for my training. You're paying for these tools to generate your own leads. And then I don't care what you do with those leads at that point. And that way it got me out of this situation where I'm constantly having to be the underwriter of other people's education. I'm having to be the financier, and because the number, as long as it doesn't cost people, and as long as they have as little skin in the game as possible, then you have no leverage in that business relationship. And so I would tell any MLM person, don't get caught in the world of selling leads. Get in the place of selling your training, selling your support, have people pay for your time and the value of your time. And then that way you've truly helped them. Because it goes the old adage, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but teach a man a fish, he eats for a lifetime. And so I have people to this day that are in TW3, even though I'm not in insurance, still with me, and say, at first I was sort of aggravated because I was like, I wanted you to teach me everything you knew and you was going to charge me. But then I was accepting it because, well, he is willing to pay me just about 100% commission on everything. He's not making anything off of it. So I thought, well, that's a fair deal. But, they were a little, but everybody else, I know I was going against the grain, but they're still in this business today.